Hey, you know what time it is? It's time for a short clip from the main show. We hope you enjoy this.
We know that change is needed, but change is hard to come by. It takes time. It takes work. And that's why we have to learn the lessons of tonight so that we can have an even better result the next time the Canadians decide the future for the country. Canadians have opted for a razor-thin minority government, a virtual tie in the vote count. So I would like to congratulate Prime Minister Carney on leading this minority government. We'll have plenty of opportunity to debate and disagree, but tonight we come together as Canadians. We will do our job. Yes, we will do our job to hold the government to account. But first, we congratulate people from all political backgrounds on participating in the democratic process. And as I said, while we will do our constitutional duty of holding government to account and proposing better alternatives, we will always put Canada first as we stare down tariffs and other irresponsible threats from President Trump. Conservatives will work with the Prime Minister and all parties with the common goal of defending Canada's interests and getting a new trade deal that puts these tariffs behind us while protecting our sovereignty and the Canadian people. I want to thank my Conservative team, my caucus, my members of the Conservative staff and others who've helped reshape the entire political landscape in this country. Conservatives have achieved major breakthroughs tonight. We brought in record support from blue-collar and unionized workers, youth, new Canadians. We gave voices to countless people across this country who've been left out and left behind for far too long. We won the big debates of our time on the carbon tax, on inflation, on housing, on the drug crisis, on crime. Conservatives have been leading the debate, and we will continue to put forward the best arguments to improve the lives of our people right across this country. But we will not stop there. Every single day, our Conservative caucus and I will be holding the government to account on behalf of the millions of Canadians who believed in the message of change. En tant que parti, on a grandement élargi notre soutien et chaque jour, le caucus conservateur et moi allons travailler à Ottawa pour rendre des comptes du gouvernement au nom des millions de Canadiens qui ont décidé de voter pour un vrai changement. J'ai eu l'honneur de parcourir le pays et parler aux milliers de personnes qui ont partagé leurs préoccupations, leurs peines, leurs espoirs. Everywhere I went, hard-working people took precious time out of their day to tell me about their struggles, their pain, their fears, but also their hopes and dreams. Welders and waitresses, farmers and factory workers, seniors, small business owners, and single mothers. Young Canadians.
I want to back up there for a second. Pay attention to something he just said.
Welders and waitresses.
Did you catch that? Welders and waitresses. I've been saying server for about 30 years now because it's not a gendered position, but he only believes in two genders, right? When we know there's a minimum of 3 sexes, male, female, and intersex, and there's variations upon the intersex thing, but I'm not going to get into that because I'm not smart enough to tell you about it because I haven't read enough to know what those differences thereof are. But did you notice that? Waitresses, not servers? A little misogynistic, don't you think? I remember a few years ago, a member of that party had said stewardesses. And I pointed out, I said, that's not a it's not a term we use anymore. We say flight attendants because, again, it's a non-gendered job. Like, uh, I'll continue for a minute.
Farmers and factory workers, seniors, small business owners, and single mothers, young Canadians and young families pleading for the chance to own a home, parents who worried that their kids would never be able to move out of their home, grandparents who saw their grandchildren suffering from the
Parents worried that their children will never move out of their home. You know, there are many cultures in this country where you don't move out of the home until you get married. And in many cases, you still live with your family because it's a great way to save money. See, he has a vision of this country that really does not line up with the way the country is right now. But hey, I don't think you need me to tell you that.
shortfalls of our economy, and countless others who are afraid to go outside because of the rising wave of crime. All of these stories touched my heart and gave me inspiration to work towards something better. These people continue to need voices, and I will continue to fight for them every day, and every day we will never give up on fighting for the Canadian people. Thank you. We hear your stories. We will carry those stories with us into Parliament. We will not forget the people for whom we work and for whom we fight every day. Now, I know that some of you might be disappointed that change did not get over the finish line tonight. Change takes time. Most of all, it requires that we never give up, because our people and our country are worth fighting for. Je vous ai entendu.
I can't argue with that part of the statement. Part of it, I said, our country is worth fighting for. But let's back it up for a second there and listen to what he says. And I need you to pay attention to this, because this is something this party has been going on about for the last few years. They do not see themselves as a part of this country. They see themselves separate. Conservatives will have your back, where every other party leader says Canadians.
Requires that we unite. Change takes time. Most of all, it requires that we never give up, because our people and our country are worth fighting for.
Do you think when he says our people, he's referring to everybody in Canada or just his Conservative Party supporters? Because, again, they tend to do this. Conservatives will support you. Not Canadians. Conservatives. They see themselves apart. They see themselves as above us. And I think that's all we really need to hear from him, to be quite honest with you. There's like 3 more minutes, and I don't want to listen to it anymore. I don't. That, and I don't want to give his particular YouTube channel any more attention than it already is getting. So I'm just going to close that there. So, yeah, we have a new boss, and some would say same as the old. I got a piece of lint on my chapeau there. Same as the old boss, except it isn't. It's a new boss who was in the position for a very short time period and is now back in that position with a mandate for the next 4 or 5 years. And we'll see what Mark Carney can do to improve the lot and life of the average Canadian. Now, Mark Carney is more of a progressive conservative than he would be a bleeding heart liberal. And I'm talking old school progressive conservative, like the kind of progressive conservative that created the CBC, built Ontario Place, created the Ontario Community College system. That kind of progressive conservative. One